All right, last game of this recording session. Pillar Bone, nice small map. Bretonnia versus Warriors of Chaos, nice small matchup. Let's go. I took my boy Kolek because I love Kolek. I love him. Sure, he often lets me down, hurts my feelings, but I love him. Mixed front line of Forsaken and Marauders, though the Forsaken are faster, so I need to deploy them staggered. Forsaken and Marauders should both be plenty capable of chewing through peasants, but taking 3 Forsaken because in the late game they're really good against knights with their high weapon strength and high mass, with decent armor values. Took 2 Skull Crushers of Corn. I know Rot Knights are technically better for only 100 gold more, yada yada, but also shut up. I don't know, man. I just can't get them to work, and that's... What the fuck? I thought I took these off. Whatever, I guess I have the Necrotic Phylactery and the Festering Shroud accidentally. Oops. I'm paying 200 extra gold, but it's not that big of a deal. But I definitely meant to take those off. Oops. Anyway, Nurgle Caster to heal up, Big Boy, and then a Hellstrider with whips because I had extra money. But yeah, I mean, Skull Crushers are anti-large, armor piercing. They are heavily armored, so Bretonnia could have difficulties dealing with them if they only brought, like... Not only brought, but if I fight Knights of the Realm and stuff, I'll be fine. Grail Knights, it'll be a little more difficult, but shit happens. I don't know, Rot Knights, I just can't get them to work. For me, they're kind of like Demigryphs and Crushers from the Ogre Kingdoms, where like I feel like they just are too big and get caught on themselves and don't fully interact with the enemy army and don't do the damage they should. So I don't know, man. Like, I know they're objectively a good unit. Other people use them and other people use them very well. I just struggle. So I don't know, man. It's just a for fun game with my buddy. And this build isn't like trolling. It's still a good build. You have poison dogs to run down archers / provide poison to support the Skull Crushers. Kolek's fine into Bretonnia. He's not ideal. Like Archaon's probably still better, but he's not bad. You're gonna get a fight with some big stuff that Kolek will like to kill. So yeah, it's fine. This build is suboptimal, but not trolling. All right, give my infantry attack orders quick so that they run up and start dealing damage as quickly as possible. What do we have? 2 Royal Pegasus Knights, Lewin, a Damsel of Life with regrowth on foot, a Grail Guardian, 2 Grail Guardians, and then some Peasant Archers. Dang. Okay. Send some Skull Crushers around the side. Kolek's just gonna be around. Hey, don't run into the peasants though. You don't need to do that. Okay, Grail Guardians are charging into some stuff, but that's not really my concern. Okay. So he's trying to land on my dogs. I'm gonna run away from that, but Lewin is landing here. All right, Forsaken get through that front line like we wanted them to. Oh, that's bold. All right, his Royal Pegasus Knights land on my dogs, but they're gonna get charged by Skull Crushers. Kolek and the Skull Crushers getting really good damage on the Grail Guardians. I'm gonna ignore Lewin. Lewin is a master of just getting healed up anyway, and not dying when I need him to die, so I'm gonna get guaranteed damage on those other knights while I can. I do need to keep pushing forward this front line. And gonna try and get a heal onto these Skull Crushers before they lose too many models. Okay, they're terror routing right now, which is pretty whatever. I'll pop Star Crusher. I didn't think Lewin would stay for this fight, but if he wants it, I'll win it. His Royal Pegasus Knights are having a really hard time getting off the ground with my support dogs chasing them down, but now that it looks like they have, I'm gonna break off and deal with some of these archers. There are the other Grail Guardians. Okay, so Kolek's gonna be on his own for a little bit. I'm gonna send some Forsaken over to help him. Send Marauders deal with these, Skull Crushers deal with these, and we're gonna have other Skull Crushers also come over, so if Kolek can just last for just a couple seconds, we should get some pretty good engagements in. But he is taking a lot of damage, I acknowledge that. More Forsaken need to keep moving. Everybody needs to keep moving. Alright, next heal is from my boy. I haven't forgotten about Hellstrider. And there, my Skullcrusher should get a nice charge over here. I'm gonna throw lightning down in their escape route, because to escape me, they have to go past Lewin. Also, wow, if it just hits Lewin, it'll do some pretty funny damage. There we go. Not like great damage, but it was just funny. Alright, they're starting to run now. So my poisoning Hellstriders should be able to keep them in range as here, that guy's gonna go for Lewin. Forsaken still blending through some fools. Marauder's still getting some good damage out, so everything's going pretty well for us. My next heal is up, and it is meant for Kolek. Royal Pegasus Knights and the Grail Guardians just stuck in this fight. The Hellstriders are really helping with that, with their poison and incredible speed. They're great. Aha, but I'm going to Phylactery, you idiot. You can't affect me with contact effects. You absolute dunce. Yeah, I don't really know. Damsel of Life is on foot, so she's actually gonna get swamped in my Marauders, and they could eventually get some decent damage on her. Like, they're not gonna one-shot her, but they'll do decent. This unholy blob fight continues as Kolek is just hammer slamming his way through everybody. I'm gonna have other Marauders peel off and go deal with that. Grail Guardians trying to run down some Forsaken. And Kolek's getting really good damage onto Lewin. These Forsaken have just got to be getting the most insane value. 900, not bad. Not the most insane, so maybe I oversold it, but not bad. I have 4 Skull Crushers in the distance. Right now they're just running down peasant mobs. That's okay. Kolek, fight whoever you can get your pretty little hands on. We're getting close to army losses territory, which would be nice, so I don't have to chase down Lewin, who could potentially heal. I think to trigger the army losses, if I run over and slap this lady... Okay, she's just gonna slap herself. GG. Kolek probably got good value. He was constantly fighting. Ooh, yeah, 3,500. That's really good value. Marauders and Forsaken did very well for what I needed them to do. I forgot this unit. It jumped in. It provided some support, but Skull Crushers both did great. Dogs did great. So really everything performed well. GG. Just type in my opponent. As for Lewin, he got decent value. Royal Pegasus Knights did okay. Grail Guardians did okay. Archers did okay. I guess his front line probably just got absolutely trucked on is where he lost value. Yeah, I bet. And I suppose I did have some healing, so you do expect him to... He has to get his value a little more than, like, 1v1 trades, right? He has to get a little more, because he had to kill Kolek almost 2 full times. And then I healed up one of my Skull Crushers, just made him a little more annoying to take out, but he did eventually get rid of that one, because I believe it was the super wounded one. Alright, GG's.
Subscribe, yes, yes.